Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura. Zippers. I don't think a day goes by where I don't use a zipper. Now, zippers are an amazing opener, and they're very easy to get. We can get them in all different colors and all different styles. So today, let's put in a zipper for a pouch. And I'm going to use one of the patterns from the Zipper Pouch book. Now, this is a fun book. It has 14 patterns all inside the book. And the fun part is, in the back, they give you 3 zippers, so we're able to start the project. All of these 14 projects do have all of the patterns and the directions. So there's a great assortment of all of these nice little pouches. I think they'd be great for gifts. And they have enclosed 3 zippers. There's one zipper that is metal, a hook zipper that's made with resin, and then the most common zipper, which is a nylon zipper. And of course, you can always get additional zippers in almost every color there is. So today I'm going to make this cute little pyramid bag. I'm going to simplify the pattern because what I want to do is really talk about the zipper foot and how to put in a zipper. There are a few different ways of adding zippers into pouches, but I think this one is really the most common one. And the zipper I'm going to use is the most common one, which is a nylon one. And the reason is we need to stitch over the teeth. You can stitch over top of the resin. It's a bigger zipper, it has bigger teeth, but when you're stitching over top of a zipper, so you're making it shorter, the nylon one is really the best. And of course, you're not going to be able to stitch over top of that metal one. The pattern and sizes, of course, are in the book, but I'm simplifying this by keeping the outside fabric without any embellishments. So I have the outside fabric, the liner, and what we need to do for that outside fabric is to put a interfacing on it. This really helps keep the bag holding its shape. I just use a light to medium weight fusible interfacing. I fused it on so the fabric was a little bit bigger, and then I trim it down to size. When we are putting in a zipper, we're going to need a zipper foot. Now, every zipper foot's going to look a little bit different depending on your machine, but they all work in the same way. A regular sewing machine foot has a hole usually in the center because the needle is going through the center. A zipper foot has the holes on each side. So the needle can go on one side or the other side. We can also take that needle and adjust it to where we want it to run. We can have it right up close to the bar or have it move over. This area on each side runs along the zipper. It's going to be able to run along the one side and along the other. So that foot is designed to accommodate that hump. So we're going to take the zipper and put it into this pyramid pouch. I am going to be following their directions. The only difference is I'm not having all of this fancy work on the front. So the zipper needs to be stitched along this small side. Because this is the front, I do want that little end and the right side of the zipper facing. So I do have the right sides together. And that's one thing we need to remember. This is just like fabric. Right sides need to be facing. So we're going to open the zipper up a bit, and those edges are going to match the edges along this edge. And this is why we will need that longer zipper that we're going to be able to trim down, because it will be very hard to stitch this close. When we look at the zipper, the teeth stop a little bit down from the top. So we're going to take the top of the zigzag and put it at the top of the fabric. The edge of the zipper is going to fit the edge of that fabric. We're going to do it to that side and to this side. Now the pattern does have us put the lining, the front fabric, and the zipper all together in one step. And they're going to be sandwiched together, and we're going to be able to stitch. For the first side, I'm going to stitch that zipper down without that lining, just so that you can see how that foot is going to work along that zipper. And the edge of this foot is going to run along that ridge. So we can adjust this needle accordingly. So as we're stitching, we're not having to try to keep it in order. It keeps it in order for us. And we just can go nice and slow and let the edge of the foot follow the edge of the zipper. I've used blue thread, but of course you would use a matching thread. Now when we put that zipper back, that has given us enough space for the zipper pull to work. If there's too little bit of a space here, the zipper pull will have problems moving because there is no space. It does need a little bit of space. And that's what that is designed for, is to give us the space that we need to put in the zippers. Now the pattern does have us put all 3 layers together and stitch. But if you're not comfortable putting all 3 layers together, you can stitch once along this edge and then put the lining down. Even though the lining is down, we can still feel that edge. And that foot's just going to follow right along that edge. When I do remove those pins and open this up, you have a clean finish on one side and a clean finish on the second side. The next side I'm going to put all 3 layers together. When you do make sure that your zipper is straight and that you haven't twisted it. I have my edges matched. I can either sew from the top going down, or you can use the other side of the zipper. So I'm going to move that needle over so that this side is going to run right along those teeth. Whatever side you're comfortable stitching on, the zipper foot does give us that option. And I'm just going to remove those pins as I go along. So that has just saved me a step by putting all of those layers together. The pattern does now have us top stitch this zipper down. So we're going to turn this so it's right side out. We want to make sure that the zipper is free of the lining and the top. I do want my top stitching along this edge, and I'm still going to use that edge of the foot and have it run along the teeth. So you're going to be able to adjust this needle to where you're going to want it to stitch. But having that foot follow this edge means you're going to have a nice straight line. You can see where that edge really just keep us straight. So the foot ran here and the stitches were here. We need to do the same to the other side. From here we're going to be able to follow the rest of the pattern. So we're going to do up the zipper and then turn it so we are looking at the lining. The middle of that zipper needs to be in the middle of that bag. Now we're going to be able to put our regular foot back on. I'm going to use my 1/4 inch foot because we do need a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And we're going to stitch over top of these teeth. Back stitch and go all the way until you hit those teeth. And for the teeth, we definitely are going to slow down. And I do like to back stitch. Now I can continue sewing, back stitch. So this is what we're looking at. We do have that back stitch that went over top of the zipper. And because this is a nylon zipper, we had no problem stitching over top of it. Now we can just cut that straight. That is the bottom now of that bag. From here, we need to open up this zipper, match up those edges. The pattern does have us put a little hanging loop inside, but for today, I'm going to omit that. And stitch. The bag is essentially done. However, it would be nice to put a nice finishing feature on these edges. Now we could do a zigzag, or we can follow the directions and do a nice little binding. The binding does add a nice finish to the inside of this little pouch. We can turn it right side out, poke out those little corners, and our little pouch is done. And the book does have some fun projects that we can make. They're lined, they're fun, and there's 14 in one book with our 3 zippers to give us a head start. The zipper in this pouch was put on the same way as my jacket zipper was put on. And there's more than one way to put a zipper on, so it covers different pouches with zippers and different ways of putting on those zippers. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy, and I hope that clears up how to put in a zipper for some zipper pouches. Thanks again. Bye for now.